Good morning and welcome to Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics, right here on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Enemchukwu and I'm your host for the show. Joining me live in the studio as always, I have with me my... Morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Sharon.
How are
you
doing?
Great.
Yes,
doing great.
We like the fact that you're doing great. All right, also joining us live in the studio, we have our analyst in person of Mr. Daniel Sacramento. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Good morning.
You're looking really good. We love the black on black. Well, also joining us via Zoom, we have our analyst in person of Mr. Ladimeji Oluwafemi. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, guys in the studio. How are you doing, guys? I'm doing well myself.
All right, now we are going straight to the story for today. We're still talking attacks, still talking abduction after what happened on Monday. But first, all eyes are on Washington today as the U.S. Congress prepares to vote on a resolution addressing what some lawmakers and advocacy groups describe as Christian genocide. The decision expected later today has drawn intense internal attention. And in response to the upcoming vote, the APC has issued a strong statement pushing back against aspects of the debate. The group argues that the conversation surrounding the issue has been oversimplified, and they are urging lawmakers to approach the vote with caution, accuracy, and a deeper understanding of the situation on the ground. Now, before we take our conversation to Washington, D.C., as the U.S. Congress gathers to hold a debate as to the situation going on in northern Nigeria and the alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria, let's first take a look at what happened earlier this week with the Kwara attack, the Kebbi school attack, and take a recount of a pastor at the Kwara church that was attacked just a few days back. Let's take a look.
If you do live video, and they kidnapped almost 35 members of the church. Yes. What about the personality family? After what in the days happened? 6 p.m.
Sir, people are wondering how you continue to do live streaming despite the attack in your church.
We are doing Thanksgiving service for the 14 people that was kidnapped 3 weeks ago, and all of them were rescued. That is why we are doing the blessing service to thank God for the rescue of those people.
What you usually do?
What do you want now for government? We want government to give us assistance.
Before yesterday, sir, do you usually do live streaming of your programs in your church?
No. My name again first. My name is Anidele Lawrence, and this is our secretary.
All right, thank you.
We're buying. So everybody was answer. So what we rush, that was the security wa. Fún mi ban bí ẹni lóko títí àwọn yìnbọn yẹn sí àwọn yìnbọn yẹn tí pàtó wá yá ó ṣàgbébọn yẹn lọ́wọ́ àdó wa pé everybody máa sàn lẹ̀ wọ́n tó tẹ̀lé wọn ní church wọn dúró church náà wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í.
Àgbọn aláàjọ
wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yìnbọn bàtà ń yìnbọn yẹn títí everybody ṣáà ń sá wọn tá à ṣe àwọn tó lọ sórí pews wọ́n lọ sá pamọ́ síbẹ̀ wọ́n lọ fà wọ́n jáde báwa tó kù ṣe ń sá nìyẹn kí tá a fi sá lọ tó àwọn tó wá yẹn wọ́n fẹ́ tó 30 wọ́n pọ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó wọlé yẹn kò sẹ́ni tó gbé kò sí gbogbo wọn ló gbé bọ̀ tó bá ṣe rí nìyẹn wọ́n pa àwọn mẹ́ta ẹnìkẹrin àti ìmọ̀ alpha so àwọn tó gbé ó jẹ́ 35 èèyàn náà kó lọ báyìí láti kó wọnú igbó tá àti ìgbúrò wọn rárá wọn àdẹ tí pé up to this time àti ìpè wọn kò ẹni wọdà à ń retí àwọn.
All right, we just saw those videos, and first of all, we need to start from what happened recently and the recount of this incident. Now, we saw the pastor recount of the incident and that of a survivor who was actually in the church premises when they were abducted and raided. Now, you know, I just find it really interesting, and I'm going to first of all just get your opinion and thoughts, Mr. Ladimidi, first on the ongoing debate at the US Congress. But let's take a look at these videos that we've watched. A lot of people pointed out to some reporters asking the pastor for the Kwara church why, if it was normal for them to live stream their church services, because that was what they were doing, and you know that was the evidence that the world had that they were abducted on said date. So I just wanted you to give your thoughts on that particular press conference.
Thank you, Sharon, and good morning to Nigerians. Though I didn't get, the volume of the video played didn't, it wasn't clear to me, rather. But let me just try and answer your question. Sharon, there are some conversations that I rather not indulge in at this moment, like the discussion of how we arrived at that footage. I think we should be appreciative of the fact that we came to the footage at all.
Exactly.
And not how we arrived at the footage. I think that is desecration of the lives of the people that we continue to lose in this country day in, day out, discussing how we come about. This question is all right. I think this is some existential problem, because when the issue in Owo happened, Tinubu asked where were the cows? Where are the cows? When NSAS happened, he said, what were they doing there? And we keep asking ourselves these questions in this country that are not necessary. That question, that conversation, that question from that pressman to that man was unnecessary at best. Why do you want to know if they normally stream or they don't normally stream? Let us treat the issue as it's where. You can even come back around to begin to ask them how they got the stream. Exactly. They have people kidnapped. You are not talking about it. You have a old woman who at the highest speed was in slow motion. I am not talking about that old woman.
Yes. It is frustrating.
And Sharon, when you were laying the background for this conversation, you said alleged genocide. Well, I personally will take exception to it, because the data is out, the record is there to confirm this is genocide. I don't care what the government and their partners in crime are creating out there to cover up this fact and their denial. The more they reside in this denial, the heavier the blow lands on us as a country if we are not careful.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ladimidi. Now we are going to look at an interview with the Kebbi South Senator where these girls were being held. Now, when we look at that video, we'll return and have a full conversation as to what exactly is going on.
And this has a large expanse of land. Yeah. There are those who say that you can travel for several minutes or almost an hour, and you may not even see settlement until you see another settlement and you see another settlement. So there's a large expanse of land, and there's a river between the Zulu Emirates and Zamfara State. But in all of this, the attack we saw, a vice principal was killed. Yeah. The principal was heavily injured. And there are those who say some of the schoolgirls escaped, you know. But did you see any of those schoolgirls that escaped? What more did you hear? Where did they run back to? Where did they, what inkling do you have? Did they take the schoolgirls towards Zamfara State, or what part of the country did they say they go? They must have been footsteps, because we understand that when they attacked Maga, several minutes people were running helter-skelter before they went into the school. What are the information that we have? Where do we think that these people must have entered into or taken these schoolgirls?
Seun, I must commend so far the activities of the Nigerian Armed Forces. They are right now in the forest. Just today, I have a report of about 7 soldiers that were shot, unfortunately not fatally,
by the bandits?
By the bandit in an effort to rescue these girls. We have a fair idea of where the girls are, and we are sure they have not moved outside my constituency in Kebbi South.
So they are likely to be within, they've not crossed outside of Kebbi?
They have not, from all the intelligence we have, they have not crossed outside the Kebbi South senatorial.
So there is a huge hope.
There is high hope that these girls will be returned home in the next 1 or 2 days. That is the hope we have.
I mean,
based on the information.
And I mean, the mothers, the parents.
Soldiers shot in a bid to rescue the 25 abducted girls, and from what we are hearing, they're still within Kebbi State, in the south side of Kebbi, and the government is coming out to assure the people that they have a fair idea of where these people are being captured, where they're being held right now. And I'm coming to you, Ifoma. Let's talk about, the fact that they already are close by, because if you had a gun shoots in where you had Nigerian soldiers, 7 of them being killed, it means that they were in close, being shot at. It means that they were in close contact with these bandits, and there, is every possibility that they are closing in on them. So let's get your take. Do we think that they've gotten to that point, maybe where we're close to rescuing these girls?
Well, God, I beg. All right, this particular incident, like we discussed it earlier, is quite disheartening, that even when they reached out to the security men, none of them were forthcoming till they've already adopted the girls and taken them into the bush, and now we are hearing that there is possibility that these girls might actually be rescued. Is good news. At least we have a head start towards rescuing this girl. But I just don't want the entire scenario to end up, oh, we are rescuing the girl, we are making attempts, they've killed some soldiers during the process and all whatnot. At the end of the day, what we want to see is these girls, being rescued and reunited with their parents.
All right, now that's the end game for everybody. But coming to you, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, let's also, we've gotten the take of Oladimeji and the former on the already going rescue mission. Let's talk about the debates the U.S. Congress has scheduled for today now, and also the APC in the United States having a sort of, reservation with the UN conversation that Nicki Minaj shared the other day, talking about Christian genocide. Now they have come out to complain that they didn't have a representation there when Nicki Minaj was having that, conversation and address. And it would be interesting or better if the United States should have the stakeholders, Nigerian stakeholders, when having such conversations. Now let's talk about the debate. What do you think is going to happen, during the debate today?
All right. I don't see anything happening there. The truth about it is that the European Union, America have taken their stand. and they must understand. Now they're even going there. The Pope, the current Pope, has come out to issue a statement that there is genocide of the Christians in northern Nigeria. As I'm talking to you 2 days ago, Reverend Father was adopted and was killed. So, you see, it is because we have no shame. If we have shame in this country, there are some certain arguments that are not meant to stand. It's sending emissaries to go and to the United States to go and start saying, no, there is no Christian Jerusalem. You people started this matter. You were the one that carried yourself just because you want to rob Peter to pay Paul. You carried yourself to the United States. So they shouldn't forget that they established that contact. They brought some analysis and they gave it to the United States government. Now they beamed their searchlight and started seeing these things.
Exactly.
So going there, it's of no use. You see, most of the times, misplace of priority, it gives me heartburn. In this sense, come on. Instead of making this move to go and start telling United States, please, so it's not true or that this is not what we need. Please, we need your diplomacy. We need interventions. Exactly. It is not a big deal.
They don't just want to agree.
So they don't just want to open up. Let me tell you. We ourselves, Liberia didn't invite us. We went to Liberia. We went to Sudan to keep peacekeeping. So if United States comes to help us, it's not a crime.
You know, I think they're actually afraid.
No.
They could actually be sanctioned.
Let me tell you, it's not about the sanctioning thing. It's not about the sanctioning. You know, they are trying to perfect, maybe they call it a religious war. Because if the United States comes on board, now those hawks, those criminal elements will now face the church squarely. So I understand where they are coming from. But that should be the last resort. As they could see, the security in Nigeria needs state of emergency.
Yes.
They just 24 hours now, another kidnap happened in Kwara State.
Yes.
We're just saying the same Kwara State. So what it shows is that there are people who are bent to destroy the nation.
Exactly.
So, and one of the things again is this dichotomy and level of I don't care attitude that happens inside the security agencies. Remember, the KB state governor said that the director of the department of DSS, that DSS, State Security Service, gave an information to other sisters agencies that there is going to be a kidnap. They broke up the information. Now, 30 minutes, the military men left the place. That thing happened. It calls for people to sit down and do a thorough analysis. Okay. There should be a security analysis to understand why these things keep happening.
Exactly.
30 minutes they stepped out. It came on board.
That information leak will also saw that with the brigadier the other day.
Yes. So what we actually need is not just going to United. See, please, I want to beg the present administration. Let's swallow pride. Invite people who have modern equipment to assist us. Otherwise, this thing is escalating. The people that are beating drums for this bandit and terrorists are doing that on daily basis.
All right.
Now you ask yourself,
it's increasing.
You know something? You ask yourself, where do they get all these machines that they use, which is more modernized than ours?
Right.
So these are the things that they really need to look into. So the debate, I don't see anything like debate going on. The truth about it is that they are calling them to tell them, maybe they just give them that few minutes to talk, but they are going to, United States is going to give them their stand, that this is where we stand. And because this paper has been presented in the United Nations, so I don't think anything they are going there to say will hold waters.
It's substantial.
No, you're not going to hold waters.
All right.
So because they're already taking their stand.
Mr. Ladimeji, do you have a different opinion? Still talking about the U.S. debate that is supposed to go on today.
I was thinking you weren't going to pass the baton to me.
Why not?
All right. I'm in and out on the thought of Comrade Sacramento, and this is it. Let me pick from where I start with them. I start with Comrade Sacramento on the note that whatever the APC wing in America is going to the United Nations ground to speak today is just all formality. And I'll tell you why the United Nations will not even try or dare to look away from confirming these sanctions. Number one, the Pope has spoken. And we all know that when the Pope speaks, there is always a traction. Whether we like it or not, that is the global politics.
It's true.
Yeah.
Secondly, Trump's interest in this matter. We all know who bankrolls the United Nations. So let's see if, you know, the APC wing in America, you know, so filled with evidence against a database organization to sway the assembly from taking the decision to sanction Nigerians, the enablers of this terror in Nigeria. And where I stand out with Comrade is this. Comrade, and I think if you are also told that line, Comrade, their problem is not the fear of the Islamic extremist and terror group facing the Christians squarely. And I think that's a very easy excuse for to give on behalf of the government. We are a sovereign nation, and we know that if we remove the mole in the top echelon of the Nigerian military, it will not take a week to decimate this terror. I give you that for free. So the problem they are having is not that fear, Comrade.
Okay.
The problem they are having is the fear that the moment they take a stand and remove themselves from the denial of this Christian genocide, they lose their political affiliation and interest. They have negotiated the lives of Nigerians as collateral for political balance.
That's a new perspective.
I am telling you this, Comrade. For political balance, they have negotiated the lives of Nigerians, because I see no reason why we have seen so many patterns that are too obvious to look away. How can you call away personnel? Go back to 2014, they called away personnel and the Chibok issue happened. Come back to 2025, they called away personnel and the Maga Kebi issue happened. I'm not disillusioned. I'm in Nigeria, but my brain is not fried.
Yeah.
Not to understand that this is a pattern and it's a look away and it is a connivance of governance and of government, and it is political players currently in government that are involved.
You're correct.
I'm not shying away from the truth as things are right now, because we are losing lives. And aside that, more damning, we are losing the lives of our military personnel
unnecessarily.
Something that could be easily avoided, Mr. Ladimeji.
Necessarily. And I hope that the Nigerian government remove themselves from this denial before the military formation begin to reason in the line that I'm thinking they are reasoning. And they could be possibly reasoning. If whether we like it or not, if it continues on this trajectory, the military will respond in a kind, because they will not continue to stand on their hands while they lose their personnel.
I like that. Thank you so much, Mr. Ladimeji. This is a new perspective on the matter, and especially let's look at the lives that have been lost via the military losing their soldiers and personnel just because information was leaked, something that could easily have been avoided. We're seeing deaths that could easily have been avoided, carrying on because of this particular issue. But let's get your thoughts on what Mr. Ladimeji just said, and also generally on the U.S. Congress debate happening today.
Okay, this is, I just heard a new, should I say, a new take or perspective as regards this entire attack, and then the was defense by the APC, the administration, the U.S. Congress. The U.S. Congress. I'm seeing everything, and it's making clearer sense right now. The truth is that I think at this point, it is not really about actually bringing forth security personnel to protect lives and properties anymore. I think at this point what we need now is intelligence from the international body. That is what we need, and it's high time the present administration admits and takes responsibility of their nonchalance as regards this massive and vicious attacks to these states before it actually becomes a general. It becomes a general something. Before you know it now, it will trickle to the east. It's already in the east. So I think it's high time for these people. It is high time.
It's in the east already.
It's in the east, yes. But what I'm saying is becoming too rampant. It's becoming, you understand, like the same attack we are seeing in other states. So I think it's high time they take the initiative and admit that this has actually gotten out of hand and seek help from other nations that could actually bring in modern machineries to fight and curb this insecurity in Nigeria. That's all I have to say as regards.
No, finally, right? I'm going to take that of Mr. Daniel in 2 minutes, right? If the Nigerian government comes out to agree that there is indeed a Christian, even if they don't call it a Christian genocide, if they call it, they've not even accepted that it's a religious genocide. They are saying it is born out of frustration and just violence, right? And vices, is a social vices against Nigeria as a whole, not targeted at any group. Now, if they come out to agree that there is indeed a Christian genocide, let's talk about going forward. Do we think that they are going to get the help that they need, even though we know they're going to be sanctioned? Let's look at the pros and the cons of that, Mr. Daniel.
Okay, Sharon, the truth about it is this. To me, I don't really need them to come out to own up if there is a Christian genocide. What I want...
solve the problem.
That's not the issue. What I want them to do is to stop this level of insecurity. Stop the level of how our military men, our security men are being killed on daily basis. Somebody should be held responsible for this. Somebody should, go in for this. This is outrageous. This is a shameful thing in a very big nation like Nigeria, that our soldiers are being killed as if they are normal people, civilians. So it is terrible. So, this level, Mr. Lagbeji doesn't really want to call it a name. Let me tell you, what he is telling us is there is a level when soldiers will be killed somehow, and they will want to take over. So the main queue that they are running away from will come. So they have to be very, very careful. This is not time for politics. This is not time to call people like Daniel Buwaya and Onanuga to come out and be telling us rubbish. This is time for action. This is time for the DMI to come on board, bring out, let them come together with the DSS, with the CIDs. Let them come together, the NIAs. Let them come together and form a common front to go and curb this thing. Then the Air Force should, since these people have gathered too much, to start, let there be a constant bombardment in all the accounts. No one exempted. Till this thing reduces, because it seems when they discriminate them, they still come in through our border. I said this yesterday and I'm saying it again. They should get the people who knows how to cover the borders, to get the right set of people. If it's building wall, let them build. If it's building anything that will make them, look at Israel. You can't come into Israel because there is a border, a very massive one. That if you climb there, you die. If you try to infiltrate, you go for it. You go down for it. So Nigeria should wake up. This administration, let's leave all this money for borrowing money for infrastructure. If you are borrow money for security, let's know where we are facing.
They can actually borrow. They borrow.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's reckless spending. They are siphoning it.
I'm not. We're saying this. I'm not aware they are borrowed. So what we're saying in essence is this: let them borrow and make an urgent emergency, state of emergency in our security. This movement of going to US to prevent sanction, they are just playing. You know, maybe they've forgotten how the likes of Trump behave. They have taken their stand. It didn't take them 1 year to take this decision. Before you see Trump coming out, this has been something that has been bothering them. They have prepared this thing long ago. And thank God that this administration does it, helped Trump to take his decision. So the truth about it is this. Let's leave all these razzmatazz rolling around security. And another thing I want to say, this attitude of every minute, every second, the security agency will come to social media and say, we keep 100, 1 million this one. Okay, we are not interested in all those madness. Let them stop all this madness. If they want to work, let them work. We want to hear there is an end to this madness.
And you don't need to publicize it.
We will see it. Everybody is going to perceive it. So we don't want all these razzmatazz they are doing because it's getting everybody worked up. Businesses are dying on daily basis. People are leaving the shores of the nation every day.
You can't even go to school.
You can't go to any social place. You can't even go into church now. It's becoming an issue.
Sharon, a quick one. Do you know that in 2023, when this same government came into power, to forestall the experience of Chibok, they came up with an initiative called Save Schools Initiative.
Yes.
They budgeted 144.77 billion naira. The only initial money that they rolled out to kickstart that initiative was $15 billion. Since 2023 till now, they have not released any fund, and the Kebbi girls issue happened.
Thank you, Mr. Ladimizi. Yesterday, we talked about that yesterday, where they were investigating, looking into that 147 billion naira that was brought out for the Safe School Initiative, and they were querying what happened with the money and the funding. There's just a whole lot of querying going on now, as it should be. What happened to over 140 billion naira that was brought out for Safe School Initiative? I mean, if this was already used, the situation that happened in Kebbi State wouldn't have happened, because they would have had ample security. Having just 2 security guards for an entire school institution does not cut it at all. Anyways, we're still waiting. There will still be more updates as regards this particular debate, but from what I'm hearing, it's not as though they want to make a decision. Speaking on the US Congress, it seems they have already come to a conclusion on where they stand as regards the Christian genocide happening in Nigeria, and the presence of the APC holds no water when it concerns the decision making of the US Congress, and this is what we are looking forward to. Thank you to my co-host in person of Ifoma Oji, and our analyst Mr. Daniel Sacramento, and Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi for your contributions this morning. And our viewers, if you're watching for the first time, this is Morning Pulse, where we discuss Nigerian politics. If you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe and follow us across all social media as Active Citizens. You can find me across all media at Sharon NM Chuku Ifoma.
Find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia, and on Instagram at Misolex.
Mr. Oladimiji.
Yeah, I'm always on X. I got Oladimiji. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Daniel will always be in the studio, so we'll come your way later today. Do have a good morning.